In this video, I'm going to talk you through your full leg workout. As I do the exercise, I'm going to give you tutorials and hints and tips on how you can get the most out of the session. So first and foremost, we're starting with squats. I absolutely love squats. I think they are the best big compound builder. Like, you need to be able to get up and down from a toilet for the rest of your life, so you must include these in your training. If you're not comfortable squatting to depth, then what I would start with is like a box or a ball, and then gradually reduce the height. I would always squat in a rack with the safety, so you feel safe when you're lifting. So starting off, you want to have your hands so that they are just slightly wider than shoulder width apart. As you duck underneath the bar, you want to make sure that the bar position is not on the top of your neck, otherwise it hurts. We do not want you using any of those bloody puff pads. So we want to position the bar so it's on the top of your back. You want to put your feet directly underneath the bar. You're going to take your brace, lift up, step backwards, 1, 2. Then as you're squatting, you're going to brace into your core, open up through your hips. Depth is where hips and knee crease are in line, driving back up. And then as you walk in, you're just going to walk all the way in until the bar meets the rack and then put it down. So that is an RDL. So a Romanian deadlift is a hamstring dominant exercise. When we're actually doing an RDL, we want to be really careful that we're bracing through the core and we're hinging at the hips. So when we're hinging, we're pushing backwards like this. We basically want to have soft knees, not locked out legs, and we don't want to be doing this, okay? So with an RDL, I always go for one hand one way, one hand the other, so that the bar doesn't fall out of your hands. So I'm going to stand all the way up. I'm going to pull my shoulders backwards and stick my chest out. Then what I'm going to do is take a breath into my core, hinge at my hips, and slowly lower the barbell down my legs, okay? I'm not thrusting forwards like this. I'm literally chest up, shoulders back, big brace, going to mid shin, and then back up again. So down to mid shin. Okay, so next exercise, the leg press. I think one of the most embarrassing things with the leg press is actually how you get into it. So when you get in, you just literally want to climb in like this, sit down, and then it saves you rolling around. So you want to have your feet probably about hip width apart, slightly wider, toes just a little bit to the side. That's for where we want to hit our glutes. On a leg press, we have like a handle like this. So we're just going to take the handle, take some of the weight, brace the core, and then flick the handles out to the side. What we're going to do is make sure that the lower back is pressed into the pad and we're bracing the core. And we're just going to open up through the hips. You're going to breathe in at the top. Hold your breath. Breathe out on the way back out. And then to unrack it, you're literally just going to lift this up, pull it in, and make sure that it just hooks on one of those hooks there. Hey. Okay, so next step is a glute drive. There's loads of different variations of glute drives. Most gyms will have like a glute drive with like a belt that comes over the top here. This particular one has a handle here. It twists round so that the pin hooks in here like this. My personal opinion is that I would want the pad resting on like the top of my legs, not my groin. So what you're going to do is you're just going to lift up, and then the brake is here and you're going to pull it backwards. What you're going to then do is you're going to drop down, clench your bum cheeks, and then push all the way up, squeeze and hold, and then slowly lowering down, keeping that tension, and then squeeze and hold at the top. What you want to do is you actually do want to make sure that you do have constant tension on your glutes and you're not feeling this in the hamstrings or the quads. If you are, you just might want to move the feet around dependent on what works for your body. It's a Bulgarian split squat. So biggest piece of advice for a split squat is you actually just want to use like a rounded pad like this. So they tend to sit on the back of like a leg extension or a leg curl, so that basically your foot can just hook on the back of it like that. So when you're finding where your feet need to be, you want to have your calves pressed against the pad, take one large step forward, and that is probably where your foot needs to be, okay? So chest up, if we're wanting it more in the quad, leaning forward a little bit more if we're wanting it in the glute. What you want to be mindful of is this knee needs to travel that way, not across your body. So chest up, big breath in, Focus on something in front of you that's not actually moving, and that's how you're going to actually get better balance.